Despicable Me 4. Now, Despicable Me 4 is a film that has made tons of money so far, and for a very good reason. It's family friendly. This is a children's film. So, Gru and Lucy and their girls, Margot, Edith, and Agnes, welcome a new member to the Gru family, Gru Jr., who is intent on tormenting his dad. Gru faces a new nemesis named Maximum and his femme fatale girlfriend Valentina, and the family is forced to go on the run. This is a entertaining little kids film. However, it's a kids film. Whereas the first one, the second one, and the third one did not feel like kids films. This one is kids centered. Yes, there are moments here and there where the parents will really enjoy seeing the bond between Gru and his girls and Gru and his boy. The minions are there. The minions aren't in there as much as I thought they would be, and I really enjoyed that, because if this turned into another Minions movie, I was going to be just completely annoyed. I enjoyed this for what it was. Not saying it's a good movie, because it's not. But for kids, this is a good film. As a critic, this film really did not work for me, because the jokes are so forced. There's no build up to a joke. There's only a couple times I did laugh, and one of the scenes is during the salon scene. I enjoyed that scene. I really enjoyed the scene in the grocery store, because that was actually building upon a joke that happened earlier in the film involving the salon. I enjoyed that. A couple of the minion parts did make me laugh, but the story is not all that interesting. We don't get a whole lot of the villain. The villain is barely used, and he's not a great villain. He's probably the weakest villain of the entire series so far, including the Minions movies. We don't know a whole lot about him. His reasoning for doing this is very bland and almost nothing. Is basically holding a grudge from years ago, and I didn't like that. There's some great cinematography in here, beautiful animation. The minions are cute. The minions are there to do what they're supposed to do. Not saying I love this movie, but it just didn't work for me as a family comedy. The other three films to me had more of a family bond, where this one, you don't build that family bond. And there's a side character in here who it's a teenage girl the same age as what is her name? As Margot, and she wants Gru to teach her how to be a supervillain. She's barely utilized in that part. They do go on a heist one time, and it doesn't go the way they're going, so she all of a sudden decides that she wants to be a villain. But I think if you added her in as a friend for the girls, that might have been a better thing for that character to do compared to trying to become a villain. And I did really enjoy the club scene at the summer club with the tennis. That was really enjoyable. I enjoyed that. That got me to laugh. But this movie really did not work. The jokes did not land most of the time. The minions were cute at times, but once we get to the super minions, then it got really stupid. It got really stupid. There's one who flies. There's one who shoots a laser out of his eye. There's one who's super strong, and there's one who looks like the Thing from Fantastic Four and eats everything and can break through everything. I really didn't like this film all that much, but can I see why people enjoy it? Yes. Do I know why it has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes? Yes, because the families are not going into this looking for issues. They're not. They're going into this for their kids. Their kids are going in there to look at the minions, laugh at the minions. When they spank the one minion, the kids are going to laugh. When they throw the soda can in the vending machine, when the one minion is caught in there, they're going to laugh. That's all this film is for. Now, there's not a lot here for adults besides a little bit of a subplot of Gru trying to form a bond with his son, his new son, who's not all that fond of him. He's more of a mama's boy compared to a daddy's boy. And I did enjoy that because there's a nice moment that made me smile at the very, very end between those two. but there's nothing overly amazing about this film. Overall, I thought this film was just okay. Not a bad film at all. Not awful, but certainly not good either. So I went right down the middle with a 2.5 out of 5 for this one. And I can definitely say this film is probably going to reach $700 to $800 million. We have a competition in the upcoming weeks, not this week, but in the upcoming weeks with Twister and Deadpool and Wolverine. The crowds are still going out to see Inside Out, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. But I really enjoyed this for what it was, but by all means, not a good film. I'm glad I got to see it in theaters, though.